What will it take for DC United and the Seattle Sounders to reach MLS Cup? The answers next on The Daily. Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to another edition of The Daily on MLSsoccer.com, here with Greg Lawless. I'm Nick Furshaw. 2 more days until the second leg of each conference final in the East and the West. We'll start with the East. DC United at home against the Houston Dynamo, 4 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. Live chat on MLSsoccer.com. We've talked all week about the injuries, the rest, and all the different elements going into this game. But tell me, DC United with a 2-goal deficit, what do they need to do to overcome it and reach MLS Cup?
Well, I think the first thing is get Dwayne DeRosario into the fold somehow. Even if he's not going to start, even if he may not play, you get him on the bench, allow him that spark, allow that mystery almost, so that the DC United players can think, wow, our talisman is there, he's ready to go and fight for us. The fans will be energized by that. It also throws a little bit of a question into the Houston Dynamo's minds that maybe there is this thing that they know can come onto the game and really cause some problems if he were to get in the game.
There's one team that knows it, it's the Houston Dynamo. Dominic Keane coaching Dero for a long time in the glory days for the Dynamo. Really quickly, do you expect Dero to start and maybe go 60 minutes and they can get an edge early, or does he come off the bench and they try and get it late?
We talked about this a little bit, I think, on Extra Time that just came out, and I think it would be a surprise if they could put him in there early and go for that quick goal. I think that DC United have to go quickly and get an early goal, put the pressure on the Dynamo, get the fans more into that. At the same time, you worry about when you use your subs in particular. So if you put a player on that you know can only go maybe 45, maybe 60 if you can really get a lot out of him, but you're looking at maybe 45 minutes, that burns up a sub automatically, and you don't want to do that, especially because if you do get 2 goals, you're going into extra time. And so that's where it starts to get dicey for them. A
2-goal deficit, they can do it. DC United at home, they've played well.
I think a lot of people think that, too. I think there are people that really are out there and think this is the team that has a better chance in the 2 conference championships to turn this around.
They've been very good at RFK this year. And for all those fans that are relatively new to MLS and you've never seen DC United at home at RFK in a big playoff game, make sure you tune in to the NBC Sports Network on Sunday. 4 p.m. Eastern, there's a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. See how the old guard does it in MLS out at RFK. Well, the Western Conference Championship closes down on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. The second leg up at CenturyLink now. The Seattle Sounders down, though, 3-0 on this one against the LA Galaxy. Some injury issues for the Seattle Sounders. Still wondering if Mauro Rosales is going to play a role in this one. What do the Sounders, Greg, have to do to get an early start in this game and somehow overcome a 3-goal deficit?
Well, frankly, I don't think they can do that. However, if they're going to have a chance, if they're going to create a miracle, I think the first thing you need to do, Fredy Montero and Eddie Johnson starting up top. They have to be together. They make each other better. Ziggy Schmidt has said that. He likes to say, Fredy makes Eddie better and Eddie makes Fredy better, and all of a sudden you got this weird rap poem thing coming out of Ziggy Schmidt in this one. And that's the key right there. Get those two on the field together where they can start playing off of each other, running off of each other as well. And then the other thing is that Ozzie Alonso has to be a little bit more disciplined. He lost his discipline, I think, in the LA game, which is something we don't really talk about with Ozzie, that he didn't really sit in that hole to stop the counterattack when it was coming. And that's what he needs to do. Well,
the Seattle Sounders, again, it's going to be a sold-out crowd up there at CenturyLink Field. They're going to be rocking on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. We were joined by Ziggy Schmidt from the Seattle Sounders and Nick DeLeon from DC United on the latest edition of Extra Time Radio. The podcast came out on Thursday. You can catch that on iTunes, Buzzsprout, and Stitcher Radio. And a reminder, Extra Time After Hours, we're going to have 2 shows on Sunday, one after the Eastern Conference Final and one after the Western Conference Final, roughly 5 minutes after each game ends. Make sure you log on to MLSsoccer.com for all the thoughts and all the highlights from those 2 big games, and log on to MLSsoccer.com for complete coverage of the conference finals this weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.